Welcome back to the Weekly Huddle YouTube channel. My name is Owen, and with today's news of Jimmy G's reps meeting with the 49ers to try to facilitate a trade for him to go to somewhere where he can start without having the pressure of being in front of Trey Lance and being usurped at any moment after going to the NFC Championship game, I thought I'd quickly bang out a top 10 of teams that I think he should go to, or the top 10 teams I think will be in the quarterback market that he ranked from 10 to 1 least. My least favorite he should go to, the most favorite I think he should go to. So before I get into that, make sure if you're not already subscribe. Go check out the rest of our content. I know I haven't posted an episode of the podcast in a while, but still trying to coordinate some stuff like that. I have a lot more video ideas coming through. Still working hard on the scouting stuff. Go check out the Dynasty Index. And anyway, I'm going to start off with number 10. Number 10 is the San Francisco 49ers. He did just take them to the NFC Championship game, so I could see the reason for them wanting him back. But they invested 3 first-round picks into Trey Lance, and Trey Lance did get some action during the season, and I feel as though the system that they're currently running runs smooth with Jimmy G, but could add a whole different dimension with Trey Lance in it. I think Kyle Shanahan wants to start unleashing some of those QB-designed runs, the way he can bring other players into the run game, like a Deebo Samuel from the wide receiver position, and just make any kind of running back he brings in successful in that system. I think adding a rushing quarterback to that would add a whole different dimension and really bring the offense to a next level, even if the passing takes a dip. But, I mean, at the same time, Jimmy G had not the greatest season, so I feel like the passing drop isn't going to be that hard. So number 10 is the San Francisco 49ers. They may bring him back just because of the success of this past season, but most likely I would not like to see him back there. Number 9 is the Cleveland Browns. This is only if the Browns move off of Baker. I know last season Baker was pretty bad, but he played through the whole season injured. He hasn't been the same since his rookie season. He hasn't been that good since then, even though making the playoffs last season. I think that if the Browns were to move off of a quarterback like Baker, they might want to switch to someone like Jimmy G, who's more of that game manager in the way Baker was, but isn't as a fiery of a persona. Will go out there and just do his job. I mean, you have to pay him more than you have to pay Baker, but if you have to choose either pay Baker or pay Jimmy, they might decide to just pay Jimmy for one season, see how it goes, see if he can bring that winning culture over to them, and take him somewhere that Baker just hasn't been able to do so yet. Number 9 is the Cleveland Browns. This is only if the Browns move off of Baker. I know last season Baker was pretty bad, but he played through the whole season injured. He hasn't been the same since his rookie season. He hasn't been that good since then, even though making the playoffs last season. I think that if the Browns were to move off of a quarterback like Baker, they might want to switch to someone like Jimmy G, who's more of that game manager in the way Baker was, but isn't as a fiery of a persona. Will go out there and just do his job. I mean, you have to pay him more than you have to pay Baker, but if you have to choose either pay Baker or pay Jimmy, they may decide to just pay Jimmy for one season, see how it goes, see if he can bring that winning culture over to them, and take him somewhere that Baker just hasn't been able to do so yet. He would also have a very strong running game like he did in the 49ers, and the defense is kind of ascending. They have a decent amount of weapons. They could probably add 1 or 2 more, and he has a phenomenal offensive line over there. So he has some structure to build around him, and they will definitely add to that in this offseason. But I don't know if the Browns are going to be ready to move off of Baker, who's still on his rookie deal, for somebody who makes as much money as Jimmy G does. Number 8 is the Green Bay Packers. This, again, if Aaron Rodgers leaves, whether through retiring or going to one of these teams that are in this list, I think Jimmy G could go there and start. But it'd be the same situation he was in at San Francisco, where he has this rookie quarterback quotations, this young quarterback that the team has, bestowed their future upon. And he's just there for a season or two waiting to be usurped by him, or they're going to look to replace him at any moment for this young guy. As soon as he messes up, he's going to get benched for the young guy because they want to see what they have in him. So there's a lot more pressure when it goes to the Packers. He would have, a good winning culture around him. He'd have Matt LaFleur as his coach. And I think he would have the structure. He would have, like, this team he had around him at the 49ers that he took to the NFC Championship game. He may have equivalent, if not a better team around him in the Green Bay. But I feel that the pressure of having a young quarterback behind him, which is what he had in San Francisco, would be something he wouldn't want to have another repeat of next season. He'd want to go somewhere where he is the unequivocal starter no matter what throughout the season, barring injury. And number 7 is the New York Giants. I definitely think that Jimmy G would be an upgrade over Daniel Jones, but Brian Daboll and them have already come out saying they want to try to fix Daniel Jones opposed to just replacing him. So I feel like this one's unlikely, but I think with the offensive line they're trying to build over there, the running game, if Saquon can come back healthy, and the weapons they put around in wide receiver and tight end, Jimmy G would have a lot to work with. And if you're the Giants, you need to start winning, especially the new coaching staff. They want to come in there and they want to start winning right away, especially in that market. So if they can get somebody who's been a proven winner everywhere he's gone, he won in New England, he won in San Francisco, he has a really super high winning percentage. You bring a proven winner and a veteran in this league who can come in and just try to win you some games and build you some goodwill in that city. You can do that, and if that's only if you want to move off Daniel Jones or have Daniel Jones sit for a year and then try to bring him back on a low deal. But I think this one's unlikely, but I feel like it's a good fit for what the coaching staff needs to prove and the roster they're building over there. Number 6 is New Orleans Saints, with Sean Payton stepping down and he being the only real person who had any faith in Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback. And outside of him, you got Ian Book and Trevor Siemian on the roster. You may have to go looking for somebody else to come in and replace him, especially with a new coach coming in who may not be that high on Taysom. Jimmy G would then be in the division with the Bucs, where Brady just left, to try to come in and try to beat the team that Brady, just took to the NFC playoffs and as well as the Super Bowl last year. So and that division is wide open, so he could come in and immediately, if I'm the Saints, I can grab him and think, I'm probably going to win a division now just because I have the advantage at quarterback. And there are 3 NFC South teams in this list, so this is just the first of the other 2. You could probably guess what they are, but that would be, I think, a good fit for him. I don't know if the new coach they're going to bring in is going to want him, and their cap situation is really, really awful. Plus, they have a surprising lack of weapons on the outside, so Jimmy G might not want to go there because he might not be able to get weapons due to his cap hit and the lack of salary cap they have. Also, the lack of weapons they have just already in general. Number 5, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and speaking of lack of weapons, this team does not have that. Whether it's a stacked running back room, stacked wide receivers, even if Chris Godwin does leave, they do still have Tyler Johnson, and then that other guy who took over for AB, his name is escaping me right now. But they have Mike Evans as well. They have running game. They have a decent O-line. Their defense is up and down, but can be more good than bad at times. And I think Garoppolo could come in and win games with them, but it comes down to, does he want to follow in Brady's footsteps for that long? Does he want to go back to another team that Brady went to, where Brady won and then he's immediately compared to Brady, and if he doesn't win, then the whole Brady ties get even deeper and try to drive on him. Plus, they have Kyle Trask there, which they drafted him for a reason. They knew Brady was going to be leaving soon, and they might want to turn it over to Trask, or if, again, the same situation with Green Bay, if he goes there and he struggles at all, they will be looking to turn it over to Trask as soon as possible just to see what they got in the youngster. If they're not winning, they'll be like, well, if we're not winning, we might as well put the young guy in. So that'll be an added pressure to him while he's there. At number 4, it's the newly named Washington Commanders. Washington has a player in Taylor Heineke that he's more of like a Fitzpatrick, gunslinger. They also have Fitzpatrick, who will go out there and try to make plays for you, tries to be a game manager, but will make some turnover-worthy plays, adds a little bit to the run game. But at the same time, I think he doesn't add anything that Jimmy G can't add better as a passer and as a decision maker. So with a team that has a great defense that had an off year, some good weapons in Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas, as well as a good running game with Antonio Gibson, their offensive line is a little shaky, but I think they can invest in that this offseason and really get that going. Adding Garoppolo could probably be that one step they're missing. Again, another team that hasn't won in a while that could use a proven winner in there at a quarterback, can be a leader, and for a coaching staff that might be going on to the hot seat if they can't win this season. So bring someone in who can win, who can maximize the weapons you have there currently and won't put your defense in a bad position, or at least not often enough that he is going to be benched for any option they currently have on the roster. So I think that Jimmy G would be the best option for them if he was on that roster, so there wouldn't be any pressure for him to get replaced. Number 3 is the Carolina Panthers. Same kind of idea of a lot of weapons for him, a good running game as soon as McCaffrey comes back. Their offensive line is not good, but they can always, like I said, invest in that. Their defense is up and coming, and Matt Rule really needs to turn this around if he wants to keep his job. So bringing in a proven winner with Jimmy G, a proven leader, and somebody who can come in and, if he fits the system, could probably excel in that. I do still like Matt Rule as a coach. I feel like he has potential in this league. I just think that he needs to get the offensive coordinator right, and because he has weapons, he has a running game, he has an ascending defense. So if he can get that quarterback position right, I think we'll look at Matt Rule a lot differently than we do right now. At number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the quarterbacks that the winning percentage and quarterback wins stat gets thrown around a lot for is Jimmy G, and the one coach that the winning stat and never has a losing season stat gets thrown around for is Mike Tomlin all the time. So I think that putting those two together is just a meme-worthy connection, but at the same time, strong running game, super strong defense, and a decent supply of weapons. If they bring back Juju, they got Deontay Johnson. They got some guys there that Garoppolo could work with that I think would work well, and I think just that culture and not wanting to lose a step with the quarterback there might probably even be an upgrade from what Big Ben used to be. And just really be more of a less egotistical as Big Ben, be a run-centric offense with Najee Harris, and try to just get Garoppolo in and improve that offensive line. You could have, another winning season with both guys, and probably a decent AFC push if you had a quarterback with Garoppolo's talents and or competence, unlike what Big Ben was this past year or two. And my number 1 selection is the Denver Broncos. What I've said for everybody else, but even more so, Nathaniel Hackett's coming in, and he's going to want his quarterback, and I don't think that's on the roster currently. And it's a mass amount of weapons. Courtland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant, Tim Patrick. You got Javonte Williams as a breakout star in the running game. Offensive line is tough, and they've played pretty well this season. So that you come in, you have already a stellar defense that's been stellar for forever, has really good foundational pieces there, even without Von Miller. And if you bring Jimmy G in, who can come in and secure those wins for you that people like who are limited like Teddy or turnover heavy like Drew Lock just couldn't do for you. So somebody like Garoppolo could probably come in and take that roster to an AFC Championship game. And I think Hackett will want to bring his guy in, and maybe not one of these rookies, probably next season after Garoppolo's gone. They'll want to look at a rookie or someone younger. But for right now, just so they can come in, establish a winning culture, and then move on, they might want to bring Garoppolo in for a season, especially because of what they have currently, and they're definitely in win-now mode, and Garoppolo is a win-now kind of quarterback. Tell me all the picks you disagree with and or agree with in the comments. Other than that, make sure you check out our other stuff and stay tuned for more YouTube shorts as well as podcast episodes and other one-off videos like these. This has been the Weekly Huddle YouTube channel. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and I am out.